Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 3 showdown, winners bracket action in Southeast Asia, as Whitefries Gaming is currently trailing Fnatic 0-1 in the best of 3. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Gods. Gods, if you're in the captain's chair for Whitefries, what do you say after that first game?
Let's pick Terrorblade, that's what you say.
Oh boy.
That's, yeah, I think you just go back to the shot calling, like the way they took that fight and didn't kill the Tide of the tier 2 tower. I think the general talk is like up until that point, our draft was at least functioning how we expected to. I don't think they were winning by any means, but they're in a position where they had a win opportunity. So they just got to kind of shrug it off and just focus on playing with a clear head here in game number 2, and also picking Terrorblade.
Excellent choice. But Fnatic getting pretty good hero against the Dazzle Terrorblade combo, grabbing the axe. I believe it was Fluff on the panel earlier today. It was like, yeah, I lost a couple of games picking Dazzle first phase with an axe in the pool. I've since learned my lessons.
And good against the Terrorblade too, now with the changes to the Helix making it pure damage.
Oh yeah. Ignore that like 11 base armor at level 2. Who cares?
You can't rely on the Grave, you can't rely on your high base armor. Axe becomes pretty good at dealing with Terrorblade. It's also just like a guaranteed initiation, and then you've got the follow-up from the Boulder Smash and the Geomagnetic Grip, so it's a catch into a stun plus silence where getting Sunder off will become very difficult for Terrorblade, and then your support, who's meant to save him in that scenario, can't function how he's meant to. So already with these opening 2 picks, I do think Fnatic have a clear plan of stopping the Terrorblade.
Yeah, Team Phase 1 picking Terrorblade is not a curveball at this stage in the qualifiers, that's for damn sure. So you would expect them to have solutions planned out. They will remove the Tide now. We'll have to see what they follow this axe up with. The mid 1 Invoker still available.
Yep.
Obviously, Call into Sunstrike, a really nice combo. Do you just go right back to the well for that if Whitefries don't ban it?
5 seconds remaining.
Yes, I think
it's good against Terrorblade.
Yeah, it's good against Terrorblade. It's burst damage. The other, let's say Timbersaul's the other consideration, but that was first ban. So, yeah, it's a good option. AA could have been good again as well. Another hero that's good against the Dazzle. Doesn't stop the Sunder, but it's just burst damage to follow up the Axe initiation. But that does get banned. It's a Tinker ban from Whitefries.
Yeah, Whitefries will go first here in this phase 2. Yeah, interesting to see the Tinker removed.
It's another counter to the Terrorblade in some way, so I think it's
the,
probably better than
the
Invoker.
Aghanims with the 4 missiles and the bouncing laser.
Yeah.
Quite good against illusions.
They drop very, very fast. Fnatic banned the kind of offlaners for HY. He's played a ton of Slaughter. The Tide would have fit well, and they've already got their offlaner in the Axe, so they're not too worried about what's left in the pool. And I mean, 4, I guess, kind of 3 offlaner bans. Timbersaw not really 1, but then the Darkseer ban from Whitefries means the offlane pool is somewhat limited
There's
here.
Batrider.
Yep.
What else can Whitefries go for here?
Enigma. I almost want to say this might be an offlane.
Yeah, the last time they ran it, I believe it was played by, actually Palasan in the jungle.
Okay.
With HY on the offlane Timber.
Yeah, so Timber, I guess, is a offlane ban against Whitefries, so
10 seconds remaining.
we'll see what they do as far as the lanes and setup go
5
instead.
seconds remaining.
It's quite risky picking the Enigma if you're running in the jungle against an Axe, because that's a hero that can put a bit of pressure on the lane. With that said, Dazzle very good against Axe in the laning stage. As much as you talk about Axe countering the Dazzle in a lot of ways can, at least early on, counter the Axe, because when he tanks a creep wave, you shadow wave it, and he takes a ton of damage from that shadow wave heal bomb.
So Whitefires definitely securing some strong late game here, but Fnatic quick to reply to the Enigma. They will grab a Rubik. Often you see the Enigma pick, you're like, yeah, it's not about the black hole. Well, it's it might be about the black hole for Fnatic now with this Rubik grab.
5 seconds remaining.
Yep. Gives them a good catch as well, like an early game catch, roaming support. And another disable, so another way of stopping Terrorblade from getting off that Sunder. This is already 3 heroes that match up well against him, and well, what is...
Where have you been all my life? Undying. When the hell is the last time we've seen him?
I wonder if this is... He's the offlaner, maybe, the core Undying.
Well, they have not run the Undying in a very long time.
Remaining.
Let's see, have they run it in the qualifiers at all? Nope, not in the qualifiers.
This is almost like Pocket Strat-esque with the
They
Dazzle
did-
Undying.
They didn't run it in Starlighter qualifiers a month ago, so it's been at least a month, possibly months, since they picked it.
The Brood pickup means Axe is theoretically a safe lane Axe, or a mid Axe, because Brood is the higher hero. He plays a decent Brood, but it always feels like whenever I've seen him on Brood, the Fnatic as a team
10 seconds
don't
remaining.
play Brood well. As a player, a higher plays are fine, but as a team, they're so used to having a high on these teamfight initiators, the Tides, the Bat Riders, whatever, the Darkseers, that when he's on a Brood, it almost feels like they're lacking that initiating player. But hey, that's what I guess Mushi on Axe or mid one, whoever picks that one up, is going to kind of provide for the team.
So what can White Fries pick to deal with the Brood? They need a mid hero.
Yeah, what
It
are
does
they
look
doing
like
here?
I
Jeez.
mean, either Enigma or Undying is offlane. So
Do they Terrorblade mid, perhaps, as a response to this? Because I'm not sure how much they can deal with the Brood with a Terrorblade Dazzle lane.
who's good against Brood? Bat Rider's okay. Spirit Breaker's okay. I don't see them picking that.
Legion Commander, I guess, is a possibility. Not a big fan of
Darkseer
Legion.
would have been great. Sand King's decent. I mean, if the Brood's winning the Sentry War, it gets kind of hard, but
Quite like the Sand King. It's the magic damage is also good against the bring down the axe. But yeah, I feel like White Fries have something in mind with this Enigma Undying Dazzle. Like it's all about like this 5-man push. You've got your Mech Buyer in the Enigma. You make it not about the black hole. You've got Undying, who's got the Tombstone, Dazzle with the Sustain, Terrorblade with the Metamorphosis push. You want to play your game and not overthink your last pick and try and counter the Brood. Just think, how do we make our draft win this game, and what's going to be the final piece of the puzzle for our kind of 5-man push-oriented strat. Rather than, I think you maybe just accept the fact Brood is going to have a good time in lane. Losing the lanes may not be the end of the world for them.
and like you said, Fnatic generally don't really. I think they play in the laning stage okay at the Brood. From what I've seen, it's more in the mid game where they don't really know how to play around it the way like Alliance does, for example, or Vega in the past.
Look at the Invoker.
So they get the last pick, mid one Invoker. Great against TB, good at stalling, more control, a hero that can scale, and it does feel like a one-position Invoker this game, for sure. So Mushi Axe.
Huh. Yeah. Mushi Axe.
All right.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, Mushi plays a lot of heroes.
Yeah.
Not all of them equally well, but he
Played
plays
a
a lot.
Bloodseeker yesterday. That came out of nowhere. I thought
It
that
was
was a dead
casting
hero.
with we were on the panel with Drasko. I was like, yeah, this could have literally been anything else, and it probably would have worked better, but they won anyway.
I'm glad Drasko said that, because I don't think Bloodseeker's a hero either.
It didn't. It wasn't like it didn't counter anything in the game. Like
Yeah.
Rupture wasn't even that good. There was no setup for the Bloodseeker silence.
I think the one thing that it was nice about it was that it's a hero that didn't need help. Like, he can lane against the Darkseer, and he's got sustain just by being able to heal himself up while he's farming.
Yeah.
But he's a hero that can farm without getting pressured, but the hero itself wasn't going to do a whole lot. Morphling! Mid-Morphling! 290 is playing it looks like.
So your response to a Brood pick is to get another
Yeah,
farm-intensive carry who doesn't come online quickly.
Again, not really a response to the Brood pick, I feel. In
Well,
some
that's
other ways.
whether they like it or not. This was their response,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem like they're respecting the Brood very much to me.
Replicate and Axe is pretty nice. You get the counter helix, you can farm with it, you can fight with it.
Maybe that's the counter.
gonna
Replicate
see-
the axe and then just follow the spider army around.
We're going to see the Axe Morphling create a Undying double Tombstone strat.
10
That was the old,
seconds
was it Vici Gaming strat with Ice Ice Ice? They had an Alchemist there to help him get the Axe, but
Yeah,
don't-
it was always Morphing Undying with Alk.
Yeah.
And they don't have that this game, so. We shall see, gods, but we hop now into game number 2 of this best-of-3 showdown. Fnatic leading 1-0. After looking at the draft, I'm going to put you on the spot here as I see you are doing your predictions.
Yep.
I'm a filthy no compendium holder on this account, but who's going to win?
Fnatic.
Easy? Will they struggle?
I think they'll be a bit sloppy this game. I mean, it's the higher Brood. Like, just they're not gonna not to critique him individually, but they don't play around Brood all that well. It'll be a bit of a messy game. Mushi on Axe is going to be very aggressive, maybe overextend a few times. So I think overall Fnatic's the better team. They'll make the right kind of shot calls as we saw last game come mid-game time, and they should win this game. And draft-wise, I think they have a very strong draft. I mean, both teams do, but White Fries I'm a little like more skeptical. Like, how's this how's this Undying pick meant to work, among other things.
So HY for now, the bearer of Palassen's Ring of Protection. Why is he carrying that?
I don't know.
Because Palassen had it earlier, like he gave it to HY.
Yeah. He's going to come
Is he
deny
trying to hide something?
Well, he's going to come use the first deny at bottom, but yeah, I think it was probably just a misclick or something. Not sure.
I mean, they're going to be able to tell it's a Jungle Enigma anyway from the fact that it's Palassen playing it. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's...
Is
we used to see that a lot.
Is he going to dual lane though, or like why do you bring a protection as a Jungle Enigma?
Yeah.
That's
Maybe that's why. Maybe because I guess Fnatic could have dropped an early ward, seen the Ring of Protection, and anticipated.
I think he might be coming bottom. He
the
just bought
dual
another.
lane.
He bought another branch. Like he's.
Oh, I guess it is a dual lane then.
Ring of Protection, double branch. Like this is not jungle items. The double branch is fine because it turns into mech, but.
So yeah, that is interesting. You know, it reminds me of when teams were picking Lifestealer like 2 years ago, and they would often start in the jungle, but they would hide the Quelling Blade.
Yes.
In the trees, because it wasn't always like sometimes Lifestealer would be like a safe lane, like House style carry. So perhaps harkening a bit back to that, the mind games.
Yeah, Hai should have a very good time up top.
All right, so with all these mind games now out of the way, because he enters the lane, do you think Fnatic are surprised or worried about this dual lane?
It's annoying for Axe. Laning against Decay is tough, but Axe is doesn't worry at all about the Eidolons. He can just run at them and use his call and farm them. Eidolons give a lot of gold as well as experience, so you have to micro them very carefully, and I think overall Fnatic will do just fine. They'll have to play a little bit defensive against the pressure from the Undying, but not much more than that.
Up top, we do see Chizbug just starting with 1 sentry. Ohio with his own, but he misses on the D ward here. They do not grab Dust early, so not really trying to threaten Ohio for a kill, but should be able to secure his farm.
Yeah, and Ohio will have the kind of sentry advantage in the sense that he's the one who can play over the webs, and yeah, he'll... Ooh, is he going to scout it? There we go.
Okay, so second sentry down. Could be de-warded here by Chizbug potentially.
Yeah, but if he puts it to the right, we'll see. Ohio can just stand on the left side of the lane. And
if he puts in the middle, it's a 2-on-1 ward battle. Likely one that Ohio wins.
As long as he gets the Tango off, he's fine. And Ohio will get... not free farm up here, he'll get some farm. He's getting free XP. He's getting the entire creep wave. He's not going to get zoned out and should have a pretty good time.
So we do see Palassen taking the farm bottom. He's 6 and 7, Undying 1 and 0, and actually DJ bullying HY, or trying to, but nobody bullies the zombie.
Yeah, this is kind of like what we used to. This is when Undying was popular. He was played mostly as that kind of 4 position, not exactly roam, but go to the off lane or either the safe, sometimes the safe lane or mid, and just spam decay and harass. So HY is playing more as kind of that support 4 position Undying this game, but it's just kind of odd because the Enigma could just be jungling and farming faster. Like right now, Enigma could be probably level 3.5 with maybe 50% more farm than this if you were just straight jungling.
But it is a trade-off because Mushi is not farming. He is
Correct.
5 CS at 3 minutes. So
Yeah.
is it worth it, I guess is the question.
I don't think so personally, because I think Mushi doesn't need free farm by any means. He's not the key. I mean, getting his blink online is going to be kind of the tempo controlling item, but he's going to find ways to farm it regardless, because you're an Axe. You can go back to the jungle, and he's getting enough out of this lane that he's going to be happy.
Yeah, speaking of the jungle, we have seen a single double stack now, so something DJ likely will ramp up as the game moves on. So they do have a plan B if needed, and Mushi, he's going to make it plan A. He just heads into the woods. Yeah, screw you, Enigma.
Heads back early. Could consider even going back for the Iron Talon still. And
this is like the mirror image of the normal way you'll do it, where, you know, if you're playing greedy, you maybe have like the jungle Beastmaster and off-lane Phoenix, and no real like laning support, hard laning support, but instead they're going to do it from the safe lane. So a switch up.
Yeah, these lanes will get tricky for Wi-Fi soon because the Brood now level 5 can really pressure top. Less the Terrorblade, who has 14 armor, and the poor man's shield, so he takes no damage from Spiderlings, but the Dazzle can't go anywhere near this lane. Pelusan TP's top.
Alright, so is this just a straight push strat here?
Yeah, they're cheesing. This is them. It's at least a pocket strat in some ways, where they're trying to go for very early push. So the only reason... They TP the Enigma top as the Siege Creep comes out, so it's a very clear 4-minute 12 kind of push strat with the Siege Creep. We see this often where you go for a single pull. But Rubik's already TP'd up here, so we'll have Fade Bolt to delay this push.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for it to bounce to. Chizbug very low, almost instantly nuked down. He does have the Grave, but he's forced back here by the Eidolons. He needs to get to the safety of that Sentry. He has to plant it down low and dead. Ohio grabs a first blood against a Cheese triple push and then looks to walk away. He got the D ward off as well.
Oh, that's
What a
catastrophic,
disaster.
really.
Push over, dazzle down, Mushi farming.
They commit so much for
The
that
entire
push.
laning stage like instantly falls apart once that happens.
They send so many heroes to that top lane for that push. Well, they send 3, but they TP a under-leveled, under-farmed Enigma who doesn't have Soul Ring. So this Pelosin can't just say, oh, I'm going to go jungle now with Soul Ring. No, he doesn't have the sustain for his mana pool to really jungle all that well. So this early game is looking really bad for Qualifiers. I don't know what the overall plan is. And
I mean, they even have a... By the way, they even have a Bassi on Kev. So they, KYXY, so they've gone for 2 Brains of Basilius. You don't see that very often in general on the Terrorblade, and especially grabbing the double.
does not make sense.
It's just another little thing that is going to slow down their transition into mid-game.
I like the idea and approach to like a match where you're the underdog going for something a bit kind of cheesier, but they haven't completely thought this one through. And I think they would have been better off with just Enigma straight jungling and then coming top lane. You could come top at 4 minutes in from the jungle and have higher level, like level 5. And it's more of a surprise. Oh, I guess it's not really. It's either way, it's a surprise factor. But you effectively do the same thing with. You get that same push timing, but with more farm if you jungle. So I think they haven't executed this all too well.
Mushi grabbing the bounty rune here. So with that push not materializing, I guess we have to look towards a more standard mid game. Is 290 just blowing all his mana here on the strength morph?
Ooh, Mushi going in bottom. They're going for a kill on HYHY.
HYHY going in for a kill on DJ with the body blocks. The tombstone will be dealt with. Mushi just hacking away at it from the backside. Too late. HYHY gets it done with the soul rip.
Everyone's forgotten what Undying does, I think.
Yeah.
That's one of those I have not seen this hero in so long kind of plays.
They don't have a black hole yet, though. Pelosin may not die here, but he's really man-moding up on the axe. So they do get a kill at least, gods. They're going to bring now 2 more heroes bottom. So it will be a 4-hero push where 3 failed. Perhaps 4 can succeed.
And they're pushing away from the Brood. I think that's the key thing. They really underestimated Brood's counter-pushing capabilities just by his Spiderling army plus Nuke. He burst down that Dazzle incredibly fast, and with the Medallion, his single target burst damage from the spawn Spiderlings plus the right clicks of the Spiderlings is ridiculous. But again, 343 is always there to delay this push.
Well, maybe he'll get punished. HYHY trying for the decay, but already 343 just
He's got the one Fade Bolt off. That's enough delay. Like, okay, maybe it's not enough. I mean, you're going to lose the tower, but at least you slow it down and create time and space for mid 1 to pressure mid.
And Ohio to farm top, and Fnatic will lose the tower, but they might get a kill. Mushi, hey HYHY, welcome to the mid lane. You suck. Chops his head off.
Did you not read my name? Mid 1 says.
Mushi living up to his fan fiction here. Does some bad things to the Undying.
And this tier 1 mid perhaps being taken as well by Fnatic. It's a much bigger tower to claim. Even with KYXY here to go for this deny, it's still a overall slight victory.
290? He was agimorphing there.
Done.
He was getting run down by Ohio and agimorphing, and then stopped it. I think tried to turn on the strength morph and just died.
It's the you pushed the wrong hotkey kind of scenario.
This
perhaps.
is a doesn't seem like a guy who's played a whole lot of morphling lately. When's the last time they've run the hero?
Oof.
They have not
I've
run it.
never seen 290. I've seen KYXY play it, but I've never seen 290
Oh wait,
play
they
it.
did run it once actually, and they won that game. 56.
It was KYXY though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was KYXY.
Yeah.
So, well, a cheese strat, but perhaps not an aged cheese, which is generally when cheese is the best.
Speaking of cheese, Mr. Cheesebug is running away scared from a Brood.
Ah, well played, sir. Well played. I approve. And now Ohio takes over the wood. So the tower drops. Mushi grabs his blink pretty damn early anyway, despite the dual lane. So clearly that lane did not work out.
That lane didn't work. Top was a disaster. Mid is... You've lost your tier 1 and Invoker's free farming and has a 9-minute Midas, so... Not a single lane has worked out. You took a tower, but losing 3 lanes and getting 1 tower by 9 minutes in is not a win.
All right. It sounds pretty gloomy here, gods.
Yes.
Pretty bleak. White Fries, they're looking like the Black Death. How do we see them salvaging this?
Get some big kills. So look towards killing off the farmed heroes. Any of the 3 cores. Ideally, kill the Brood a couple times. He's a big kind of walking pot of gold. Commit Black Hole even for solo kills. They've got to find kills into towers. I don't think towers alone. Like you can 5-man these towers, but Fnatic are getting like if you see Mushi top, he's getting his farm. You've got bottom lane DJ getting some levels in farm. Getting towers alone. They're almost over-committing to towers right now. Like, they're too all-in on this push strat. You've got a Morphling, 5-manning at 9 minutes in. This is not what Morphling wants to be doing.
And the thing is, Fnatic are getting towers of their own.
Yeah.
We see Brood pushing top. We see bottom lane being shoved in by mid one and DJ as well.
Morph gets so little farm and XP out of this that it's just like, this hero is not going to function very well.
I mean, Mushi's already painting tier 3s.
Yeah.
They want to threaten high ground here. If you're going to come down mid, we're going to barrel down your top lane.
I mean, on paper, it's great for Fnatic, but you kind of look at this from a just outside viewer perspective, and you're like, oh, White Fries, they're the ones. They're pushing down mid as 5. They've got the cheesy push strat. It's working, but no. You're losing a tier 2 top. You're losing a tier 1 bottom. Fnatic's got double Midas.
Oh, hello, HY. He gets silenced, and he is going to end up likely going down there. No, the
Sunder.
defensive Sunder plays, but
Is there a
takes
Sunstrike?
KYXY out of the picture as well. The Magnetize still going. Ooh, he almost died. 25 HP.
That was such a selfless play from...
I almost think it's just worth losing or dying. Now Terrorblade has to walk all the way back to base. Won't be farming, not threatening for kills. But hey, it looks good.
DJ getting out.
Rolling away, salving up.
No detection. I consider myself a team player, LD, but if I'm playing Terrorblade, I don't make that play.
No, absolutely not. He's just lost a minute and a half of farming time, and he's not able to threaten for a kill.
Even like I feel like most of the like most selfless carry players, like think of someone like Loda, he wouldn't make that play. He'd be like, you messed up. You shouldn't have TP'd in
You
there.
dumbass.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I mean it's.
Hey, no one died, I guess, but they saved their 2-1 towers, so that's in some sense a win for White Fries. They took both mid lane towers, so they got 2 towers.
They lost
tier 1
one.
and tier 2.
Yeah, top.
Lost 1,
But after that positive tower exchange, it's a negative gold exchange.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, look, yeah, the net worth kind of tells the full story now. It's all 3 Fnatic heroes up top. Earth Spirit's up there, like at a decent level. Even though he's bottom 3, he's got 3k net worth. Like he's equal with Undying and close to the Enigma. So yeah, realistically, this is going more than according to plan for Fnatic.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's plan includes winning all 3 lanes. Normally, like, all right, we'll win this lane,
Yeah.
we'll pull ahead in this one, and then we'll maybe sacrifice the third a bit. But yeah, Fnatic went for the crush all 3 lane strat, and it works out beautifully.
Just Brood and other things. We'll see if they have that mid game kind of not collapse, but the kind of just disorganized approach to the game with Brood. Often we'll see a higher do just this. You mentioned it, where he'll have a really good laning stage, but come mid game time, the overall Fnatic playstyle isn't suited to a higher on Brood. But I think with how farmed he is and how farmed Fnatic as a whole, he can actually kind of group up with his team if they want to.
And with that tower bottom dropping, potentially we see the Deso. That's been kind of the go-to
By the
Bulldog
way,
build, the Echo Saber Deso.
Morphling items check LD. He's going for it. It's the full cheese.
Oh, but is it
I mean,
gonna?
you gotta-
Does it work from behind? Do you think?
You don't go half cheese, you go full cheese here. Who knows? They're gonna have probably one chance to try push high ground with Ag Scepter to take racks, and it's just got to work. That first push for the high ground to me has to work or they lose. They're gonna have a HY is rushing the mech, or could be rush like a Crimson Guard with the Pelosin. Pelosin's gonna rush BKB on Enigma. Not sure how much that helps when you're versing a Rubik, but hey. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see that one attempt. I hope they get to a point where they're not too far behind that they can at least try this push, because they're not close to the Ag Scepter. That's probably the problem right now.
I mean, he's just chilling bottom behind the Terrorblade. He's not farming.
No, he's not getting much.
He'll finally
The
head
TP
towards
stop,
top.
there we go. That needed to happen a while back, but that waveform with is this the new Immortal?
It is.
So disorienting. I'm like, what is going on?
That's pay to blind your opponent.
It looks like Ethereal Blade. Every single time. The first time I saw it, I'm like,
AoE Ethereal Blade. It's like, did I miss something in the balance tweak after the middle of it?
my first thought was, does he have a 6-minute Ethereal Blade, LD? Like, what? Did he hack the game?
Am I that out of touch?
Ethereal Blade cost reduced. Maybe he's playing with cheats on. Who knows? So yeah, this is. And for Whitefries, you're just chilling. You're farming up your core items, and then you're going to group up and 5-man push. That's kind of what their game plan comes down to. They want to split up as much as possible to finish those core items, but they also need to not give Fnatic too many pickoffs, which is what happens when you split up.
Hello, Kev, and goodbye, Kev.
Yeah, you split up to farm those core items. I guess Terrorblade has his Treads Dragonlance, so he doesn't need... He's probably actually not that farm dependent compared to like the Undying Mech and the Ag Scepter are the two big items right now.
Yeah, I would love to see this push materialize as well, but it is not going to be a fast one.
Fnatic's always going to be split pushing. Like, which lane are you going to 5-man push down mid? That's probably your best bet since there's no tier 2 tower, but as soon as you do that, mid one's going to be top. He's going to be split pushing. Level 11, almost 12 Invoker can threaten that tier 3 as himself. Bottom lane is the Brood, so anytime you try 5-man mid, Fnatic's going to be pushing bottom and top.
They do steal the waveform now, 3-4-3, ramping up his damage output. And there's the Blade of Alacrity, so about 1,500 gold to go, gods. What else do they need? The mech is coming, the buckler and headdress online, so they'll have the recipe for that likely around the same time. Palossand appears to be going into a BKB.
I don't know how much they need the BKB, but it'll be nice. Like
I guess they'll have Kev's Yasha.
Yeah.
KYXY. And then you just go?
Yeah, sure.
5 down mid.
Go. You're not
Do you
going
bother
late game.
Do you bother with these towers, or do you just go straight down mid?
I'd like to see them go just straight down mid, but they need to somehow have bottom and top lane pushed out, which is quite difficult.
All right. Well, this is not going to help the Whitefries push.
No.
That's for sure.
And I feel like even when even let's imagine they're 5-man pushing mid and there's no split push top and bottom, that exact play happens, I think. Like, you just stop the push by just blinking in his axe with Blade Mail and you kill someone right away. There's no way to prevent it. They lose a courier now.
Where did it die?
Did not see.
1,600 net worth. I don't have a courier hotkey bound.
Gotta be able to double click dead couriers, LD.
Yeah.
I saw the Grand Grant suggestion. Needed in Dota 2.
I'm just gonna go ahead and bind this real quick. What's my courier hotkey right now? You let me know if anything's happening.
Yeah, not much.
Is it under advanced or is it basic? Select courier. Let's go with F8.
Okay.
And that brings up that menu.
Oh, you've overlap your hotkeys.
Oh no. I'll fix it in a second here.
I can. That's I have a courier hotkey, right?
Yeah, come on.
I don't know.
My normal courier hotkey is overwritten by one of the spectator binds, unfortunately.
But there we go. Here's the 5-man push. It looks like they've killed Rubik. They don't have the Ags yet, but they're going to TP back. They've got to. I mean, it's both top and bottom lane.
It's not happening yet.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I want to hope. I want to see a double tombstone push. I really do, but looking at this raiding team, they haven't got good heroes to kill the tombstones with. Important to note. But they also haven't got good heroes to push out top and bottom with. Tier 3 tower top, 300 HP. Bottom, it's lost 550 HP. They're just going to keep losing bits and pieces of their base. This is almost a game where you consider going Necrobook if you're like a Brood. I hate the Necrobook Brood build, but this is like the one game where it's like viable. But
I think you can just go Deso and
yeah.
get a similar mileage.
He's got an Echo Saber, which is kind of like a
the Bulldog build, just Echo Saber,
item.
Deso.
Yeah. You scale better, you're more of a right-click carry. And if you're worried about that 5-man push coming, it means you're going to be in fighting shape for it.
And honestly, the only thing that stops him from right-clicking really is the black hole.
As soon as the Ags was picked up, HY, there was a pink line drawn directly down the mid lane. Like, he's like, team, let's go, 5-man mid, but the call has to also be, how do we push these lanes out? Or are we just going to trade Raxes? Because that's... Fnatic can trade racks and then, well, they can probably take racks and defend racks is the crazy thing.
So we're going to play following the morph lane here, gods, down the middle lane.
Okay. I'll play watch the bottom and top lane fall for Whitefries.
They can't even threaten a little Rubik, but he's throwing creeps at them.
290's got the right idea. He's come bottom to push it out, and he has the replicate so he can rejoin. Problem is, it's not just bottom, it's top as well.
And there's a drum up.
Yep.
There is some additional push available here with Mushi ready to cut the wave mid. He's just gonna delete this push.
Push is over.
Push is over. Tier 3's down.
That push didn't last very long, LD.
Yeah, this is...
So 25 damage has been done to the Fnatic high ground. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's a very different story. Tier 3 top has been lost. Range Rax has taken damage. Bottom Tier 3 has taken damage. It is a Fnatic push strat, we should be calling it at this point.
I mean,
The Fnatic push strat
everything
is working.
It's a Fnatic farm strat, a Fnatic push strat.
Fnatic kill strat.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't got that many kills, but
They've got everything they need.
I think my prediction for kills is going to be very, very wrong.
I think White Fry's predictions for how to play against Fnatic are not looking so hot either. Well, I don't really know what they do. I don't want to sugarcoat it, you know?
Yeah, you know, there's not a whole lot, I feel.
They completely choked the laning stage, and now they're just crying tears.
The Brood pick was so good. It entirely goes back to that.
I mean, it was a 4th pick Brood, and then they went Morphling into it. That was, as soon as we saw that, we're like, eh.
I think they were planning to pick the Morphling before they even saw the Brood, because they had this cheese strat in mind with the Ags Morphling, and then the Brood comes out, and it's like this moment where it's like, do we change our pick and try and deal with the Brood, or do we just commit to our strat? And they commit to their strat, which, like, respect to them.
I'm
glad they stuck their
lose
guns.
a base race. They're not even at the base. Fnatic's at both lanes.
Don't worry, Morph is pushing out top,
Dire's bottom
or
tower
something like that.
All right.
This is better. This is better than last time, because it's the.
They're
top.
all in. They're going for it.
Yeah, Invoker's probably going to rack stop though, but we'll see. They have Glyph at least. Both sides have Glyph though. Invoker already has a range racks. Yeah, this is not the trade.
Already a tier 3
Two
top in the
racks
bottom
for
lane.
1 lane of racks. Do you go for the throne? Double tombstone, go for the throne?
I think you do. At this point, the Magnetize deployed though. DG gonna let the combo out, and this will be the first big team fight of the game. It might be the last one as well at this rate. DJ low, not finished off though. They're hesitating. They're focusing the melee racks. Meanwhile, Fnatic, they've taken a lane. They're looking for bottom as well. He moves in for the Sunder. He gets it off a mid one, but can he finish the job? It's just such an underfarm Terrorblade. Only has the Yasha, and meanwhile, Mushi on the backside. He's going to find Chizbug. Chop number 1. Looking more to come. Palasin will be next. No, he gets off the heel from the stick just in the nick of time. Barely surviving.
But no
But
racks
they've gotten a
playing.
second late. GG. And just like that,
They'll call it.
Fnatic
There you go.
going to end this game with the stolen black hole. And White Fries crying their way into the lower bracket.
Even if that push somehow was like pseudo-successful, they lost both top and bottom racks. Fnatic had no problems fighting through like maybe a mid-melee or range racks down, but that was a convincing win from Fnatic. It felt like there was no fighting, because like, yeah, Fnatic ended the game with 9 kills, but up until that high ground push, it was like, what, 5 kills to 2 or something?
It just felt like there was no fight in White Fries that game. Like, they just felt resigned in terms of their play from minute, like, 7.
Yeah. It was kind of cool to see them try something different, but the lanes...
It didn't look like they'd practiced the strat very much, I'll be honest.
No, not at all.
And the Brood definitely threw them off.
The laning stage is so... like these heroes have this incredible force when you group up as 5, that kind of death ball army, but getting to that point is so difficult because there's no good way to lane these 5 heroes. You have to run... I think Terrorblade mid is a better option, perhaps. I mean, Terrorblade or Morphling mid, it's kind of the same thing. They both can get some farm. They don't really pressure the lane that much. Both of them are bad at laning against the Brood, so I think they're both a bit suspect, but there's no good way to lane this.
Well, Fnatic looking solid, albeit I don't think this was the biggest test they've ever had in the Southeast Asian region. Probably other opponents will be a bit tougher. We did look at White Fries as the lowest seeded team and least likely to advance, but they definitely proved to be a step below Fnatic here.
Yeah. So Fnatic have the day off till tomorrow, where they play the winner bracket final.
A nice cruisy day 1.
Yeah. They can
Might
rest,
be
watch the
a
games.
quick round of Southeast Asian playoff action at this rate.
It could well be.
So our next match coming up is going to be the other half of the bracket where Execration is taking on Warriors Gaming Unity.
Yep.
Who do you favor in that one?
Probably Warriors. Slightly, even though their group stage was
I know,
much rougher.
You know, Lyrical, who's followed them very closely, considers Execration a very cheesy kind of BO1 team.
Yes.
Doesn't see them doing as well in the BO3s.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of the opposite with Warriors Gaming a bit, where they have a bit more depth just in their strategies. They're going to bring their A game as well when it comes to the playoffs. So I give them at least like maybe not a big advantage, like 60-40 maybe, but it's still Execration who had a really good group stage. They went 7-2. They were much more convincing in the group stage at least.
All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and bind a courier hotkey, guys, and we will be back with some hopefully more intense Dota 2 a little bit. Stick around. SEA playoffs continue after this.